Section 65, subsection 2 of the Registration of Persons Act, the Electoral Commission may use the information contained in the National Identification Register to compile, maintain, revise, and update the register, the voters' register. Furthermore, Section 66, subsection 2, subsection B, requires a person to produce a NIN or identity card by identification as a voter. NIRA has shared 23,281,151 records with the Electoral Commission over the period 2015 to date in a continuous, incremental manner with periodic updates on demand. The records shared are for persons eligible to vote. It is worth noting that the EC Strategic Roadmap for 2022-23, 26-27 projected 24,076,990 million voters for the general elections of 2025-26. We have attached an extract of the same. The voter update exercise is a mandatory statutory exercise that ensures that any eligible persons missing in the register are registered and issued NINs and identity cards. Question 1. Sharing of human resource, data, and equipment available to different population data collection government agencies. NIRA continuously supports the Electoral Commission with data relating to citizens during update and verification exercises. The support extended includes personnel, biometric and biometric kits. In the January 2025 voter update exercise, NIRA has provided 2,703 biometric kits to support registration of eligible voters who do not have NINs and or national IDs. A letter requesting the kits is attached. We have participated in joint training activities to understand each other's operations, with us understanding the guidelines for the exercise and also members of the Electoral Commission understanding kit usage. In January 2025, the Electoral Commission conducted a joint training exercise in preparation for this at Africana Hotel, and NIRA participated. We in turn invited them to participate with the kits. We've provided all data of eligible voters to NEC whenever required. A sample of this communication sharing data is attached as Annex 4. Obsolete challenges encountered and how they are addressed. Number 1, obsolete equipment. NIRA obtained and
I am a bit worried, and I'm a very hard-hearted person. I don't usually get intimidated by inconsequential issues, but this particular one seems to be of some consequence. I was reading the presentation of the Honorable Justice Biabakama at page 5, and the subject is sharing of human resource, data, and equipment. For completeness of record, to understand the problem, you have to read his answers at page 5 together with the answers of NIRA at page 2. And my colleagues have canvassed this subject. My construction is the following: that the Commission has found it prudent to engage both personnel and equipment from NIRA for purposes of the ongoing voter registration update. NIRA tells you the equipment they have given to the Electoral Commission, in their own words, are obsolete. So the record should read that the Electoral Commission has borrowed obsolete equipment from NIRA for purposes of voter registration. NIRA also tells us that the performance of this equipment is suboptimal. And I was thinking, as a layman, suboptimal means below average. End life, end support. So the record should read that NIRA is decommissioning useless equipment and dumping this equipment on the Electoral Commission. Yeah, they're decommissioning their equipment. That argument is reinforced by the very next line. NIRA has since moved on. They are acquiring new equipment. The dumping ground is the EC, business done. We move on and acquire new equipment. To state that I'm not, that I'm worried is another statement. It's an understatement. And I think we are engaged in an enterprise of letting down the country. The buck stops with us. It's our responsibility to fund these entities, to fund the Electoral Commission. At what point did we drive them to this very desperate situation and turn them into a dumping ground for... And again, I want to be very honest, for trash. You see, if you have used equipment and you want to decommission it, it becomes trash. And if we are underinvesting in this electoral process, what results do we therefore expect? If your investment is trash, you expect trash. But you know that a free and fair election is core to our democratic processes, the peace and security of this country. Article 62 of the Constitution, it specific the independence of the Electoral Commission. Subject to the provisions of the Constitution, the Commission shall be independent in the performance of its functions, not subject to the direction or control of any person or authority. And the Commission reports that they are in a position where they have to depend on staff that they don't hire. The last I checked, the position in law is, if you don't hire me, you cannot discipline me. Therefore, you cannot fire me. By this act, I beg to submit, Honorable Chair, that the Commission elected, I think out of despair, to, yes, subordinate itself to NIRA. Because, and I want to illustrate this, Honorable Chair. If the Electoral Commission has a discipline issue with a NIRA staff working in one of my parishes called Katande, where I come from, Katande. They cannot discipline that person. They would have to go to General Kwiringira to ask him to discipline his staff, because it's the general there who hires these persons. So my question is, can it still be said that the Electoral Commission is independent and is not acting under the direction or control And control here is by infection of the other entities. Lastly, Honorable Chair, what should we do as a parliament? And this is a direct question to the Electoral Commission. What should we do as a parliament to protect you from these very embarrassing positions? I beg to submit.
But before that, this is the crux of the matter. Because if you look at the illustrations said by Honorable Fox and Honorable Suman here and Honorable Mpuga, and partly by Honorable Wilfred, the issue of the independence of the Commission is now at stake. Huge stake, because Electoral Commission, which had planned for 10,000 plus kits, could only get 2,700 dysfunctional kits. Why? Because that's what NIRA could provide. And they had to proceed because they had timelines to beat. Now, we are saying, can we extend? This is saying we cannot extend. Because even if they extended, they will not get the other kits. The kits are still being processed. And yet, these kits stand at the heart of the efficiency of the mandate of the Electoral Commission. I imagine without these kits, the register will be screwed up and eventually the election will be affected. But why? Because they have to go and get the kits from NIRA. At what stage did we as a country agree that procurements for Electoral Commission should be handled by NIRA? When was that, by the way? We need to investigate this matter. Which meeting was that where it was agreed that procurements? No, because that's now, we must resolve this matter. And he has asked the question, how do we help the Electoral Commission? Because if we don't, somehow we must resolve this matter.
Chairman, just section 65 to
the Electoral Commission, and I want to refer you to Article 60, should be Article 63. Okay. Just a moment, Mr. Chairman. Yes, Article 63. Didn't carry my eyes. Article 63, yes, 5. Yes, Article 63, Clause 5. And this relates to what the Honorable Mpuga has just mentioned. How do you plan, as Electoral Commission, to fulfill the constitutional obligation placed upon you by Article 63, Clause 5? Now that the census results are around, and there is now a requirement to do demarcations. I thank you, Mr. Chairman.
And then FETA.
Thank you, Honorable Chairman. Honorable Chairman, permit me to register.
May I know from the Electoral Commission, what form of register are they compiling? Is it biometric or is it manual? Because the form of register lies at the heart of electoral contestations. And for us who are very localized, it forms the kind of local conflicts at polling stations. During the last election, the Electoral Commission used both manual and biometric. and it remains a source of conflict. Are you inclined, in view of what you have heard in terms of technological competence, to use both manual and biometric? And have you educated yourselves and the masses what using both heralds for a free and fair electoral process for which you are midwives? Because it's very important that we get to understand whether we are going to prepare for a manual voters register or biometric, and therefore prepare as such. Thirdly, Honourable Chair, the Electoral Commission confirms that they are using data from the 2014 census. And that for me is very informing. Doesn't scare anyone, but it's very informing of issues to come. I'm glad, Honourable Chair, that you summoned the three most important agencies in as far as this is concerned. May we know at what stage the Electoral Commission will make use of the latest census, or whether they are not actually preparing to use the information thereof. And therefore, the people at UBOS may as well find alternative purpose for that data and not for the EC, because under the Constitution, Honourable Chair, the EC is mandated after every census to determine a population quota for the country and demarcate constituencies variously. And now that we have an exercise a few months away, may we be informed when they will make known the latest population quota for usage, and therefore when are they going to demarcate the latest constituencies using that quota, or actually they do not think they will use it and therefore prepare the country and the voters appropriately. Honourable Chair, I will stop at that for now. Let's have Honourable Suman and then Honourable Fox.
Mr. Chairman,
I'd like to know from the Electoral Commission, there are 4 terms that have been used interchangeably: verification, registration, update, mop-up. May I know of the 4, what exactly is going on? And at what stage do you use either registration?
And also the honourable members have raised. Now, on the issue, maybe let me respond to this because it has been raised by various members. The Electoral Commission is saying we are analyzing and assessing the progress of the exercise on day-to-day basis. We are taking stock of the challenges that are being brought to our attention. We still have about 11 days to go to the conclusion of this exercise. We shall assess in the context of requiring or being required to give an opportunity to every eligible voter who is not on the register and who wishes to transfer to do so. We shall assess and determine whether we need to extend the time or not, which we cannot do right now at this point in time, because this is still time. 10 days is a reasonable time. But if at the end of these 10 days, we find that the challenges that have beset this exercise, this process, have locked out a number of people, then we shall come back to, we shall inform the nation, we shall inform this August House on the way forward on our members. So I think we don't have to dwell in that. We are cognizant, we are cautious of the concerns that have been raised by the various stakeholders. Now, the few kits that we have, which are not adequate to be stationed permanently for the 20 days, 21 days at parish level, we are using a rotational basis. We are rotating these kits. We are informing the people that now these kits will be at such and such a point. We are using our parish and sub-county supervisors to move around the areas and tell the people. Hajat Aisha, the deputy chairperson, was telling me that in her region, I think in Zimbabwe, the people, the stakeholders agreed and said, instead of scattering these few kits all over, why don't we do it at constituency level? We say for these 4 days, we're in this constituency with all the kits concentrated there. Then they move around the constituency. Then the next 4 days, we move to this constituency, and so on like that. And it is working very well. So this is how, to me, as a country, we have had so many challenges, but what has made us survive and move on is because we rise up to the occasion of confronting the challenges and finding solutions. So I want to believe that we are addressing these issues, and if, as I said, and I repeat, honorable members, at the end of the period allotted, there is need for extension, we shall inform the country accordingly.
Of NIRA staffing. NIRA has 433 staff. Of those, 210 are registration officers. Surely it cannot be 210 people countrywide. So what the Electoral Commission did is to ask that in the districts, when we get kits from NIRA, can the district registration officer help coordinate the issuance of these kits to registration assistants hired and paid by the Electoral Commission? In the process of hiring and paying those Electoral Commission registration assistants, they have asked them, have you worked with this kit before? So that person is not an employee, or the current assignment they're handling is not a NIRA assignment. It is an Electoral Commission assignment. The only thing they have asked them, have you ever worked with this kit before? And the answer to that is yes. Furthermore, that person must come from a 40 to 60 kilometer radius of that district. Meaning, they must be intimate with that district. They did not bring people from Kampala to register people in Fort Portal. So, the registration assistants are locals of that area who have previously worked with NIRA kits and are currently on an Electoral Commission assignment to update the register. Thank you.
Very, very important, because the impression was that these are active.
Tusanze kusomozebwa ekyo kituufu era teri akiwakanya. Tusanze kusomozebwa kuba nti bambi ebyuma byo bikaddiye, naye tugezezaako. Manye eggwanga lindivudde wala nnyo. Tuvudde wala nnyo ng'eggwanga. Sigamba nti eggwanga buli tuuse kati lw'okuba nti buli kimu kyonna kyali kiteredde, buli kimu kyonna kyali layini, oba buli kimu kyonna kyali malidaadi. Nedda. Naye ffe nga bonna Uganda kyemanyi tubeera n'okumalirira, obumalirivu. Nafe mu bwalimu vaffe nga kakiiko k'ebyokulonda twagamba tukusinziira ku ssemateeka Kawoyiro 61 olunyiriri lwokubiri katugamba nti okulonda kulina kubeerayo mu biseera bwe biti, tosobola kubuuka waawo. Nolwekyo wadde okusoomoozebwa kujja oba kiringa covid bwe yajja, twagamba covid oba si covid, Akawoyiro 61 olunyiriri lwokubiri kagamba nti okulonda kulina kubeera mu biseera bino. Nolwekyo ebyuma wadde bibaddemu okukyankalana, naye tugezezaako okulaba nti kino bwe kifa tukitereeza tutya. Bwe kifuna ekizibu kati wano obuuma tebumala bulungi. Kyola tugambye nti sisimu ezitukozesa kati y'okuwetooloola mu mugombolola na kuumaako. Era tusooka ntutegeeza abantu kakati olwaleero lunaku lw'enkya abakuuma bajja kubeera mu kitundu bwe kiti. Abo bonna baagala kwewandiisa nga balonzi abapya mugende mu kitundu ekyo. Tugezaako okutambuza omulimu kusinziira mu mbeera ebeeriwo. Oba tablets emitwalo 3 mu 15 mu 10 bwe baatuwa era tubulina obu tujja kubwetaaga, tujja bukozesa ku lunaku lw'okulonda. Bwe buli bwekinkumu obeera ku buli polling station we tujja kubwetaaga naye ku mulundi guno nga tuwandiika abalonzi tetubwetaaga kusaawa eno.
Ugambe mkyabugezesa.
Tetukyabugezesa kubanga kakati omanyi UBOS yaleeta yagula obuuma obwo obukozesa mu mirimu gyabwe. Ate kusinziira bintu bya tekinologiya nga bumanyi enkola yaabwe balina ku buuma tefaanana ng'eyaffe. Kubanga eyaffe tulina okuteekamu ku buli kuuma buli polling station n'okuteekamu amanya n'ebifaananyi n'ekinkumu ky'omulonzi ku polling station eyo. Okitegeera kakati bali bakalimagezi balina okusooka balina ekibalina okukolamu okulaba nti obuuma obwo bukwatagana n'ebigendererwa byaffe naye okusinziira mu baali babugula obwetaaga okozesebwa ka Electoral Commission bakuteeka ki mu kifaananyi oba mu nkola ne bagamba nti obuuma buno yadde tugenda UBOS yagenda obukozesa naye Electoral Commission ejja kubwetaaga ate nga babwetaaga bukole bwe buti naye kakati kyetuliko awefe tuliko kati kwe okutegeera okukakasiza ddala nti obuuma buno buli kamu nno sigamba nti twafunye sample nedda buli kamu tulina okukakasa n'okutegeera nti kanaatukolera mu bigendererwa bye tulina ku polling station tunaateekamu amanya n'ebifaananyi n'ebinkumu ebyabalonzi ku polling station eyo nebigyamu ate bwe tunaakateekako battery egenda kumala biseera ki ebifaananyi bigenda kuvaayo mu ngeri ki ebyo byonna bi practical live tests tugenda kukola tests eziwerako kwegamba nga 26 tunatuuke ku lunaku lw'okulonda obuumu nga tumaze okukakasa ddala bugenda kukola
natusemberayo ddala abakozi
tetuwambibwanga oba NIRA oba kitongole kyonna kya gavumenti. Ssemateeka erambika bulungi nti mu nkola yaffe tetuli wansi oba tetulina okulagirwa oba okutunuulirwa omuntu yenna oba kitongole kyonna nedda. Naye nga bwenyonyodde ndi lw'okuba nti NIRA yeewandika bannayuganda ate akamu ku kakalu oba ekintu ekikulu nnyo kyetaagisa nga tonafuuka mulonzi oba tonateekebwa mu regista y'abalonzi kukakasibwa nti oli munnayuganda. Kakati NIRA byekola bituyamba nnyo okulaba nti tutereeza regista oba olukala z'abalonzi nga tetunagenda mu kulonda. Naye obuyinza obwaffe nga bwe tubadde tunnyonnyola bwakolagana bukolagana. Tegamba bw'oba kolagana n'omuntu tekiba tekitegeeza nti ebintu byo byonna obiwaddeyo omukyala wo omuwaddeyo abaana bo buwaddeyo kubanga okolagana nagundi nedda ssebo si kyekyo naye okuba nti ekigendererwa kyaffe kyekimu. NIRA yeetaaga manya ga bannayuganda, Electoral Commission yeetaaga manya ga bannayuganda ate nga baagala kulonda. Kiraba so obuyinza bwaffe tukyabulina teri abutuggyeko era tebugenda kugibwako mpaka constitution nga emaze kukyusibwa.